On this Thanksgiving Day, I have two stories about a Thanksgiving and a prayer. So, the first story is one that I read so long ago I have no idea where I first heard it. But there was a woman who was an atheist, made no bones about it, that she uh, had no belief in God at all. And one fine fall day, she and her Christian friend were out walking in the woods. It was just one of those absolutely beautiful fall days with the blue sky. It was a day when the colors were in uh, full bloom. And the atheist spun around and said, "I'm so grateful. I am so grateful." To which the Christian friend responded, "To whom is this person to whom you are grateful?" Last week in Sunday school, Julie asked us to go around and give thanks for one thing, but couldn't use family, couldn't use friends, couldn't use jobs. And I chuckled because the same thing happened to me when I was at youth group. And I said, "We're going to go around the circle and you can't use the same one." And I didn't even put any criteria on it. And it's interesting that it's so hard for people to be able to find specific things around which they are grateful. I remember reading about one man who made it his ambition every year that at the supper table he would offer thanks for one thing and he would never repeat what he had been thankful for before. So one day I was reading one of my devotionals. This was from Discovering Your Dream by Gerald Fagan, a Jesuit, who wrote, "We have failed to respond to God's offer of love by failing to love God and love our neighbor. Sin is the failure to love. Sin is not simply the things we do, but also the things we fail to do. St. Ignatius traces all of this to a lack of gratitude. Failure to recognize everything is a gift to be cherished, fostered, and shared. For Ignatius, ingratitude is the greatest sin and the root of all sin. In the end, the failure to love as God has loved us." And I remember when I first read that, I go, ingratitude is the root of all sin? I mean, I've heard the love of money is the root of all sin, and I can think of a lot of things that I would say is the root of all sin, of all that is broken and incomplete, and it caught me by surprise. And I've learned to pay attention when things catch me by surprise. And so what is it about ingratitude? So for my prayer today, this is from Diana Butler Bass in her book, Grateful, The Transformative Power of Giving Thanks. It's a Thanksgiving Day prayer that she actually wrote several years ago, even before the pandemic. Here is the prayer. God, there are days we do not feel grateful, when we are anxious or angry, when we're alone, when we do not want to understand what is happening in the world or with our neighbors. We struggle to feel grateful. But this Thanksgiving, we choose gratitude. We choose to accept life as a gift from you, from the unfolding work of all creation. We choose to be grateful for the earth from which our food comes, for the water that gives life, and for the air we all breathe. We make the choice to see our ancestors, those who came before us, and their stories, as a continuing gift of wisdom for today. We choose to see our family and friends with new eyes, appreciating them for who they are, and be thankful for our homes, whether humble or grand. We will be grateful for our neighbors, no matter how they voted or how much we feel hurt by them. We choose to see the whole planet as our shared commons, the public stage of the future of humankind and creation. God, this Thanksgiving, we do not give thanks, we choose it. And we will make thanks with strong hands and courageous hearts. When we see your sacred generosity, we will become aware that we live in an infinite circle of gratitude, that we are all guests at a hospitable table around which gifts are passed and received. We will not let anything opposed to love take over this table. Instead, we choose to see grace, free and unmerited love, the giftedness of life everywhere, as the tender web of all creation. In this choosing and in this making, we will pass gratitude onto the world. Thus, with you and with all those who are gathered here, we pledge to make thanks. And we ask you to strengthen us in this resolve, here, now, and into the future. Around this table, around the table of our nation, around the table of the earth. Amen. So be it. So be it for me. So be it for us all.